So, Sunday has come around, and you know what Sunday means? I would guess that for most of you, Sunday means it's time for the weekly review. So in this video, I'd just like to share a few good practices for your weekly review. Let me just remind you about why weekly reviews can be really useful. The first reason then is the reflection benefit. If you reflect on the week that has gone by, things that you have done, then you get to celebrate the good things. After all, there's always some kind of win that you can celebrate. And if you think hard enough, you'll probably find three, four or five things that you can really feel good about. So one reason is to make yourself feel good. And then on the other hand, you can also pick out where you went wrong. Doing this might make you feel a bit annoyed and lose a bit of self-esteem. However, it does help you to deal with failure in a more positive way and see that failure in a more constructive perspective. Looking at what went wrong can make you lose a bit of self-esteem. It might cause you to criticize yourself a bit. However, it's also good to help you deal with failure and see failure in a more constructive way. And then finally, the reflection benefit allows you to get more ideas on how you are going to adapt and improve. Another benefit of doing the weekly review is that it helps you to organize yourself better. By doing a weekly review, you'll get to see and decide better on what you are going to do and when you are going to do it. And then finally, linked to this, the third benefit of a weekly review is to give you more clarity and focus. So that helps you to decide on what you are doing and whether it is important for you. Once you have more clarity and focus, you're more likely to stop getting lost on the internet and all those distractions that stop us from doing the important things. So there's a few benefits of doing the weekly review. Now I'd just like to share with you the system that I use. So the first thing I do is a bit of journaling, and I have four main prompts that I use for my journaling. I basically have these prompts down to one-word prompts. However, you can form them into a question. So the first word is wins, and of course the question is, what were my wins of the week? The second keyword is ideas and learning, and this is where I write down any interesting ideas I've had. For example, ideas for videos, ideas for new courses, ideas how to write some scripts. And also learning in terms of keeping a record of the things that I have read or the ideas that I have got from podcasts or YouTube and things like that. Keyword number 3 is improve, and the question behind this is, what things can I improve on? So this is the part where I look at the failures and consider what caused the failure, try and work out some constructive strategies to fix these kind of things. And then lastly, I have the keyword thoughts and conclusion. And this is where I write a paragraph generally about how I feel the week went, what kind of things happened and my emotional reaction to them. Here's just an example of the journaling that I do. So you can see I tend to use up about 2 pages for each week, and I like to do it analog nowadays. In fact, most of my weekly review certainly starts with the analog phase of things. I find that just writing it down gives me a lot better way to think about things. I have done it on the computer, and I've also done it on the iPad, but I just find the good old-fashioned thing of writing pen to paper just makes it feel a lot better. So that's the first stage, the journaling stage. The next stage is to go to my analog planner, and I use the Full Focus analog planner. Here is the Full Focus planner I'm using at the moment, and it does have a weekly review page available that you can use. Now, a lot of these questions overlap with the journaling stage. So the first one is list 3 to 5 of your biggest wins during the week. So there is some overlap, but I like to still use this to just reinforce some of the ideas in the journal. And I tend to do this in terms of key words. The journal allows me to write things out in long form, and then I can synthesize and write these in a concise way into the Full Focus planner. Now, this section also has a good thing about your big 3. Part of the Full Focus Michael Hyatt system is to identify the 3 main tasks that you want to do during the week. So if you look in the weekly review section of the planner, it has a section where you consider how much of your big 3 you actually achieved in the previous week. And it's also got a section where you write down the big 3 tasks that you want to achieve for the coming week. The Full Focus planner also has a second set of pages here, and these pages are just boxes for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday, where you can write down specific tasks, specific events that are going to happen on certain days. So that's how I use it. Really, I'm going from reflection in stage 1 with my journaling, and then when I move to the Full Focus planner, I'm going into more planning and thinking about the actions for next week. This planner is pretty good. I would say it has one weakness, and this is the weakness where you don't really have any space to brain dump the tasks that you think of coming up for next week. I mean, there is space, but I'd like it not in terms of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'd just like a couple of empty pages in addition to what's there, where I can just brain dump some of the tasks that I need to remember. And then that's the analog stage finished. The final stage of my weekly review is to go into my digital task management system. At the moment, I'm using OmniFocus 4 for this one. I quite like OmniFocus 4. It's got a good way of organizing your projects and then tasks within those projects, and you can get quite granular, quite detailed with it if you like. I must admit, I'm kind of someone who chops and changes my task management software quite a lot. I've used TickTick in the past as well. I dabbled a bit with some of the others. And I'm also kind of looking at Xtiles as another thing to use. But anyway, I'm on OmniFocus Planner at the moment, and I've got my project set up. So it's just a case of going through each project and typing in some of the extra tasks that I need to do and crossing off, ticking off the ones that have already been done. It is important to have a digital task management system because your digital system does not forget. If you write stuff down analog, which is really a good starting point, the problem is it's kind of on paper, it's a little bit more difficult to find. If you put this book somewhere, or 3 months later you're on a new planner and some of your notes, ideas and to-dos are in a different place, there's a higher risk of just losing the tasks that you need to achieve. So having a digital planner keeps everything all in one place as well. All right then, so let me know in the comments, how do you do your weekly review, and has this given you any ideas? It's really interesting to hear from you, and I look forward to your comments. In the meantime, have a fantastic day, morning, week, afternoon or evening. I'll see you in the next video.